Hi, welcome to Chat and Craft with Lorraine. My name is Lorraine Tierney, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States in New Hampshire, which is in the Northeast. I'm a couple minutes late today, I'm sorry. Facebook gave me a little run for my money trying to get access to that and YouTube, but we're good now. I just got back from vacation and my body is still about 6 hours ahead of local time. So although it's Sunday, September 15th and 4 o'clock, my body thinks it's about 10 p.m. and I'm not a night owl. So hopefully I won't make any mistakes and I'll do okay with what we're going to do today. So we are going to get started. Let me switch my camera to just this view. I'm drawing a total blank. There we go on how I'm going to do all this. Hi, Martha. My my trimmer is very dirty right there. I'm just going to try to see if I can get a little bit of that off. It just looks like such a mess. Usually I use Goo Gone, but that's in the other room. So let's see if a little hand sanitizer will just clean that off. No, it's not going to do it. I've been cutting card kits today, so I guess that has made a mess of my trimmer. Hi, Jan. This is the stamp set we're going to use today. This is the Regal Flora stamp set, and it has these really pretty flowers and nice sentiments, and it has some dies that cut out each of the images, and then this cool label die that leaves a decorative edge on the piece of paper you cut it out from, as well as on the little die cut that it cuts out. So I'm going to try to use that today. I've used it before, but I haven't used it the way I'm going to use it today. We'll see if it works. So we're going to do some stamping today on a big piece of paper and then cut it up to make 5 card fronts. And I'm going to try to move my camera up just a little bit because it seems to be a little bit low. Is that a little better? I want to get a little more of my paper. I'd like the paper in on the portrait orientation. Let's see how this does. Sorry about that. You go away on vacation and you forget all this stuff. My goodness, 2 weeks. Okay, so we're going to make 4 card fronts out of this paper, and I want the card fronts to be 5 1/4 by 4. So we're going to cut down our 8.5 by 11 paper. Instead of 8.5 inches, I want it to just be 8 because my width is going to be 4. So I'm going to cut off a 1/2 inch and 8.5 by 11, right? And instead of 11, I need it 5 1/4 plus 5 1/4, which is 10.5. So I'm going to cut off a 1/2 inch on this side. Okay. And eventually I'm going to cut it, like I said, 5 1/4 by 4. So right now I'm just going to very lightly score it at 5 1/4 and at 4. Okay. Now there's been times that I've done this kind of stamping and I would stamp like around the inside of 2 of these edges to make a card. Well, we're going to do it a little bit differently today. We're going to stamp a line of images down what would be the center of this card front and the center of that card front. All right, and we'll see how that goes. Hi, Joanne. Thanks for joining us. So we're going to use a bunch of different colors and a bunch of different images. This flower, and we're going to use Blackberry Bliss. And like I said, I'm just going to start stamping right down the middle here. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing, whoops, over here. I love Blackberry Bliss. Hi, Kathy. Thank you. It's good to be home. Nice to be back in my own house and back to playing with some paper. All right, let me close this one up. And my chamois has disappeared. Here it is. I'll just clean this off. Okay. Now I'm going to do a smaller flower. And for this flower, we're going to use Moody Mauve. Is Moody Mauve a color other people use? I really like Moody Mauve. Tell me if you like it. I don't know if I've ever used it with Blackberry Bliss before, but there's always a first. So as you can see, I'm just kind of moving it a little bit and stamping next to and around these Blackberry Bliss flowers. I'm okay if it overlaps a little bit. All right, I think I want one more over here. There we go. Put that away for a second. Now we need some greens. So I'm using Mossy Meadow. With the Blackberry Bliss, I kind of wanted a bold green. I re-inked this today. I hope it's going to be, yeah, I think it's going to be great. Okay. So we're going to try to get some greens in here. And I'm just turning it around a little bit and trying to get that stem into a little white space. You like the Moody Mauve too, Martha? I'm glad. Yeah, I like it a lot. It's a pretty color. I think I want a little bit right there. All right, so you can see we've got 2 lines of stamping going down there. And now we're going to add another, whoa, I got a lot of ink on that stamp. Another leaf. And I think I'm going to stamp this one off and just make it be a little bit lighter. Yell at me if I forget to stamp off, okay? I'm sure I'll hear you. Almost forgot. Maybe one over here. I don't know. I never know when. I almost forgot. Were you yelling? Good. I never know when to stop. All right. And the last thing we're going to do is use this little speckled stamp to just fill in a little bit. I'm using crushed curry. And the crushed curry doesn't show up on the darker colors. It just kind of fills in. So I like that. I'm just getting rid of some of that very vanilla space in there. And I can do a little bit coming out. I love doing this because I just love doing all the stamping. I love the pretty papers, but I think stamping is my favorite part of things. Okay, so there we have, I think, all of that done. I do have one other little flower I could use. I used it on another one I'll show you when we're done. I just decided this one needed a few more dots. Okay. Like I said, I don't know when to start. Sometimes I just keep going and going and going. All right, let's get rid of a little bit of this. Okay, now I'm going to bring back in my trimmer and we're going to cut along those same score lines. So I'm going to cut at 4, because these are going to be 4 by 5 1/4 panels. I put a new blade on right before I went on vacation. There's nothing like a new blade on your cutter. Okay. Hi, Pam. Thanks for joining us. So here are our 4 pieces. Now, one of these I'm going to try to remember to do something different with. So I'm taking one out, but I thought I would layer these on Moody Mauve and on Blackberry Bliss. 2 on Moody Mauve and 2 on the Blackberry Bliss. So let's do that. And you'll see how quick these will all work up. I went for the darker colors, kind of get in the fall mood. We have some foliage starting already around here and some leaves that have fallen already. Not too many, but some. All right, and then I'm going to take some of the black baker's twine and wrap that around. My scissors have walked away. And just tie a bow over here. Well, this is going to be a small bow because I was a little bit too stingy with that. I need a little more. Let's see if I can make this work. You'll see on my other cards, some of my bows are bigger, some are smaller. It doesn't really matter too much. Okay. So that's going to go like that, and then we'll put it on a card base. I have a very vanilla card base. I think the thick very vanilla is no longer available, but I'm still going through. Oh, I have ink on my fingers. I'm still going through some packs of mine. Ah, Moody Mauve is growing on you, Joanne, huh? Yeah, Blackberry Bliss is such a great color. Okay. So there we go. And then I have a banner. I matched my banner to my mat. And we're going to stamp the sentiment in the same color as the banner. So I'm going to use Moody Mauve. And the sentiment says, sending love your way. Oh, that's so crooked. Let's try that again. That's a little better. That might still be crooked. I may have to trim a little of that off. Try to make it look not quite so crooked. I don't know if this is going to work. That's all right. Yeah. So we're going to put that on there. We're going to have to cover up that little blob. Thank you, Lisa. I'm glad you like the stamped paper. I love making paper like that. Hi, Sherry. It's all right. If you're late, you can always go back and watch the beginning. Thanks for jumping on. All right. And now I'm going to use some of the small dimensionals so that I can put some at the top and some at the bottom and have this kind of span the twine and not worry about it being on top of the twine. There we go. And we're going to put some of the fine purple fine shimmer gems. Now they're not Blackberry Bliss and they're not Moody Mauve, but I think they work well enough. I think the colors of these are, there's some Highland Heather, some Gorgeous Grape, and I think this is Berry Burst. But it's gonna be okay with these colors. So that's one card, and then I would finish the other ones the same way, except for this one. I'm going to try to do something a little bit differently with this. I'm going to try to cut, well, I'm going to cut the center out using this Regal Flora die. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to walk over to my cut and emboss machine and try to get this even with the rounded corners. It's kind of hard to tell if it's straight or not. So I'm just going to go with it. And it cuts out with those pretty edges, and then you also get this piece that came out, and you get a frame like that. So I may put that little piece back in just because I like that bit of decorative edge. We'll use that, but not on the front. And now, oh, I was going to do this on the Moody Mauve so that you could see the stamping. I was going to stamp in there. So let me grab a piece of Moody Mauve. I have to write these things down or I don't remember. So these mats are just 1/8 of an inch bigger than the pieces that we stamped. So they're 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. Okay, so now we're going to put that on there, because I think if I stamp in Blackberry Bliss, we should be able to see the sentiment. So I don't trust myself to have this down already. So I'm just going to outline it a little bit. You see those pencil marks that I put in there? So that I know where to stamp. I think I'll use the sentiment, wishing I were there to give you a hug. I think I will use that sentiment. With the Blackberry Bliss. Let's move these out of the way so I don't get any ink on those. Okay. It's hard for me to see with the camera, but I'm going to try to center this and get it straight. I think that shows up pretty well. Let's see, I'm not going to pop that up. I think I'm just going to glue it down after I get rid of my pencil marks. These Bic pencils are great for erasing completely. All right. Let's put this on. There we go. And now I'm going to put that back in with just a little the liquid glue. I probably could have used the seal on there too and just kind of rolled the edges out of the way, but I tend to use the liquid glue. There you go. So there's the card front. I got a little bit of stuff there. And now we'll put this one on a card base. I don't know that I want to put a bow on this one, that I want to go across that. What do you think? The stamp set is called Regal Flora Sherry. It's a new one. It's in the new mini catalog. I don't think I want to do that. Maybe we will die cut a flower and put that there. Wow, this card base is not cut very well. I think jet lag is taking over. I am having some trouble. Okay, there we go. Put this on. And no bow. I think you're right, Kathy. Great minds think alike. But I am going to get a little piece of very vanilla. And let's get this flower. This is the flower that I stamped in Blackberry Bliss on the paper. And maybe we can fit one of the green leaves. Can I make that fit? That one's not going to fit, so we can do this one. And then we'll cut this one out. So there's a die for the leaf. And a die for the flowers. So I'm just going to run this through my cut and emboss machine. I am going to have to tape these dies down because they're little and they might shift on me. So that's going to take me just a minute, but not too long. Bear with me. And we'll put this on. There we go. And run it through. I like the Post-it note tape to hold these dies in place. Like I said, I didn't try this ahead of time, so I'm not quite sure where this should go or will fit. Perhaps right there in the middle. Should I do another green? I don't really want to have it be totally symmetrical. There you go. I think I'm just going to put that on like that. So I'm going to pop this one up on dimensionals. I'll put the dimensionals kind of near the middle so I have room to tuck that stem underneath. I may put just a piece of glue, a little stripe of glue on there. Okay. And then we'll just need a little bling on both our cards, or we did bling on one of them. Yep. Let's see. I think like that. All right, and a couple more gems. I like the smaller ones also. There. And maybe one there. So, wishing I were there to give you a hug. Hi, Tracy. And then it has a couple of nice little stamps. You can say missing you, or you could put the sending your love your way. You could put the thanks in there. I might put a happy birthday in there. I'm going to leave that blank for now and decide what I want to put in there later. And here's the one where we just added the banner to the front. And then I'll finish these off with the same sentiments and card bases. And here are a couple I made in different colors earlier today. Instead of Moody Mauve, on this one I used Cherry Cobbler with the Blackberry Bliss and the Mossy Meadow. But I thought it had a bit of a Christmassy feel, and I wanted more of a fall feel. So that's why I switched to the Moody Mauve. And I separated out the fibers of the really thick in color jute on those two. And then I used the black on these two. So it's a really quick and easy way. Oh, look at this. I have to put this inside. I think I will put that just right over here as a little decoration. I don't want to lose that. That's too cute. a really easy way to make 4 cards fairly quickly and have fun stamping. And you can't go wrong. You just kind of keep adding stamps and layering stamps, and before you know it, you have created some beautiful papers. I hope you will give it a try, Kathy. It is so much fun, really, really fun to do. So let's go back to this view for a second. Um, so yeah, and if you do make some, please post them in Chat and Craft Creations on Facebook so we can all see them and enjoy what you've made. I love to make cards. I love to share cards. I love to help other people make cards. So if you have any questions or there's anything I can do to help you make cards at home like this, please let me know. All right, thanks very much. Have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you later on in the week. Bye bye.